We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. If you need a roadmap in crypto, and you do need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Worried that the market is down? Don't be. Want to know what to look at? I'll tell you. Want to know who's sitting pretty? Our members. Want to be one? We'll show you. We will show you. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live, and if the content works for you, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Okay. The market's down. Good. The market hasn't left without you. Good. There is a new GAN report coming soon to the member area. Preliminary research was done last night. It was teased today on the Unhinged Crypto podcast. I will show you how to get to that. Members, jump in there. I'll have a version of it for them, and I'm going to talk about it in 6th Street Crypto on Patreon. We have 2 offerings, 2 different prices in 2 different places. We need it that way, so no one shuts us off. People, the market is going up. It's not only going up next month, it's going up next year, and it's going up for 5 or 10 years. XRP, $10. Don't believe me? Listen to me today and read this report. Read this report. The age of Aquarius has begun. It's a GAN Pluto planet thing. It hasn't been around since the American Revolution, and it's back. Want to know what the center of the new American Revolution is? Web3 and crypto. You think I'm kidding? When you see these 2 slides about the orange man, I swear to God, you're going to look at the market down and you're going to be like, oh my God, I have to buy. Because after all, the market's down on yet another geopolitical headline where I send you a Zoom character to launch outdated American equipment at empty buildings. And then I send you a calendar invite to respond by doing the same thing. Okay, if there was a real threat, it would have happened already. Everybody's selling. Everyone worried about it. Also, you're going to get to see the power of LuxAlgo today. Okay, LuxAlgo has made live TA, and I've got my own indicators that help you find Elliott wave tops and bottoms, and most importantly, in some cases in memes, where there is no 5-wave top, where it's just keeping on going. Okay, so that indicator has its own video attached to it. So get LuxAlgo, get a membership, people. You got to get ready when the market is down. You want to know when the cowboy hat comes on? When the market's up. You want to know when the cowboy hat never comes off? When it's down. Get on this market when it's down. If I can tell you anything, it's like, hey, that's the market update. Get on it when it's down. Okay? Because again, when you see these news, you see these charts, forget about it. Forget about it. Okay, welcoming members. Today's Tech Bites. Bob, welcome. Oh my goodness, FD White is in the house. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. FD, put the link in the chat. BRC, Ron BRDY, welcome members. Stefan, Silas, Diogo, Jacob, welcome. Stefan, okay. Stefan says, do we need YouTube Premium and Patreon? They're both different. Patreon has newsletters and podcasts. YouTube has sector reports and portfolios. We keep them in 2 separate places. Crypto Keeper says he loves the YouTube membership. Jordan Key is in the house. We have Richard Barry. We have Bull Runner first on the stream. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Brandon, Miguel, hello. Patricio, hello, sir. Crypto Keeter knocking away with those emojis. By the way, the $4.99 plan gets you a priority on comments and some insane emojis. Patriot Caveman in the house. Ashton, Phillip, Joe Mike, Art. What's going on? By accident, he swapped SUI for Algorand. You know, probably don't want to, you wouldn't want to voluntarily completely get off the SUI train, but wait until you see these Algorand charts. Like, somebody comment down below what is valuable about Algorand and Hedera fundamentally. I know Hedera is the bridge to karate combat. That's kind of enough for me. Okay. But We got to talk about these coins, folks, because that's Web3 made in America as of right now. 4 coins. Okay, Andy coming in here from overseas. Welcome, sir. Right, how to buy premium. Good question. Okay, so let me give you the tour. Okay, so this is my main YouTube page. There's a button here that says join. Push the button. There you have Wonder Woo, Miss Toby Ward. Coin of her coming soon. Okay, this gets you the platform, the emoji program. We get an emoji next to your name. Members get to use these emojis down below, and you can just absolutely rock on. Patreon link is down below. If you're overseas and you don't, US dollars too much, we have the newly redesigned Unhinged Crypto website. Okay. And then this was our podcast this morning, Super Cycle. Please check that out. Always appreciate, like, and subscribe to both channels. But, the join button is how you get to the VIP membership. People, if you got the dough, now is the time. Like, for real. Now is the time. Deets is here. Welcome. Crypto Keter. Dot Resurrection. Bro, right now. The blockchain of blockchains. Like, when I show you the Orange Man slides and we just sit here and we think about it, you're going to turn around, look at the screen. You're going to go, oh, Chainlink. Oh, Polkadot. I did some GAN work along with Perplexity AI. Yeah. And, it popped out the Magnificent Seven. And I was like, wow, I don't know how exciting that is. And then I asked it for some price targets based on some assumptions. XRP $10, Chainlink 100. If XRP is at $10 and Chainlink is at 100, where's the rest of this market? Where's all this stuff that's dead? Where's Algorand? Where's Hedera? Where's ICP? Where's Ethereum? I mean, I understand that meme coins are unbelievable. I understand that big hedge funds are going to chase Doge and Bonk. I get it. Anything that's down, it's up today in a down market, the hedge funds are after. I get it. And I'm not trying to talk you out of doing anything on the speculative trading side. But what I am telling you is that this is now 2010. In 2010 and 2011, everybody was selling stocks. Everybody was bearish. Everybody thought it was 2008 all over again. Meanwhile, hedge funds, right? Apple, Google, Microsoft, Netflix, right? Tesla, NVIDIA. I mean, it's just absolutely unbelievable. Apple. They went after those stocks and they just held them and they just went up. They went up for 10 years. Everyone's like, okay, I need to buy some crypto now so I can dump it next year and be done. Now, you're going to have extreme volatility next year. I'm not disputing that. But what if you could get set now? Like, what if Polkadot up or down 10% doesn't matter when it's at $5 and the high is 50? Where is Polkadot going to be if Chainlink is at 100? And isn't Polkadot like, I keep talking about it, like, 10,000 transactions per second, right? Super high throughput, zero cost. No one's talking about it. What happens if the Orange Man comes in, picks up the phone, starts calling people and says, make Web3 happen? Again, right? Driftless Crypto becomes VIP, sir. I thank you. Driftless Crypto, been a fan for a long time. I appreciate and respect you, sir. Thank you. Okay. David, Jamie, welcome. Like, just insane. Insane. You want to know more? Again, wait until you see the news. The news isn't just the news anymore. It's literally right in front of your face. So the federal debt fell $6 billion on Friday only because the Treasury plunged $85 billion in cash in for just one day. Except the debt blew past $36 trillion this week as the Treasury borrows to replenish the cash it just drained. Folks, I know it's very exciting that Bitcoin is going up, and I know it's very exciting that crypto is going up, but just try to remember why. We need a parallel system. We need new stuff. Period. That's obvious. We've got this huge industry that we could just explode. Like undoubtedly, the orange man has figured out there's a correlation. Like the debt moves up, Bitcoin moves up, my popularity moves up. It would be really kind of silly to not notice these things and wait until you see what these guys are going to do. They're telling you what they're going to do and no one's listening, which is fine because that's what research is for, right? Bitcoin metric teases inevitable 90% BTC price breakout. Puel multiple nears BTC price line. Okay, it's a crucial indicator for evaluating mining profitability. Wait a minute. I thought Bitcoin miners were going to be out of business because of the Bitcoin halving. I thought hedge funds were going to be short all those stocks. Tell me all about it. Cry me a river. Bitcoin miners are the only organic source of Bitcoin. I have been saying this. Toby Ward has been saying this. Dude, there is no more Bitcoin. There is no more. You're going to have to buy a company if you want to buy Bitcoin. Okay. Michael Saylor said to help streaming platform Rumble purchase Bitcoin. You know, how long before this platform is in? What do you think is going to happen? Now, breaking. This is important. BlackRock Bitcoin ETF options are now live. Few hundred million so far in options volume. Seems very bullish, says the geniuses at Bloomberg. Let's talk about options. So there's a couple ways to trade. There's up. You can bet up. You can bet down. Options traders, options market makers, they bet how the market's going to move. They don't really take directional risk. Okay. They bet, is the market going to move up dramatically? In other words, will volatility expand? Or will the market move slowly or do nothing? Will volatility contract? There's also, will the market go down rapidly, which can really drive the volatility measure up. It's a math thing. Now, why did I just tell you that? Well, because when somebody comes in and buys an option, a call option, they're making a bet that it's going to go up. So it's a relatively no-brainer that Bitcoin's going to go up. And Bitcoin's probably going to go up between now and March, which makes it, which eliminates this unusual component of options where you not only have to get the direction right, but you got to get the timing right. So if people start coming in and go, oh, wow, look at this. I can buy a Bitcoin call option. Here's what I get. If Bitcoin goes up a lot between now and March, I make money. But a call option, you can only lose what you put in. So say something terrible happens. It goes to 65K. You only lose what you paid for the option. Very nifty. Now, of course, in a more uncertain world, when you don't know what Bitcoin's going to do, that's a little bit more of a dicey game. You gotta, you gotta get your GAN wheel out and figure out when it's going to happen. But in this case, buy me a Bitcoin call option. Now, when someone buys a Bitcoin call option, the options market makers, the guys who bet east and west, they bet on volatility, not direction. What do they do when you buy a call option, an upside bet? They buy. They automatically buy as a hedge. They don't take directional risk. So if you want a bullish play, you buy an option, they buy Bitcoin. I'll buy an option, they buy Bitcoin. Oh, look, I'll buy an option, they buy Bitcoin. And guess what starts to happen? The higher it goes, like let's say it starts accelerating. Those option traders, in order to do their thing, they have to buy more and more Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin actually starts to go up, all the options market makers, their hedging game, they have to keep buying more and more. What happens if it's gapping? Like what happens if the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF options trade Monday through Friday and Bitcoin starts doing a Saturday, Sunday thing? What are those guys going to do then? I don't know. They ain't going to go home short on Friday. That's for sure. That's for sure. So Bitcoin's at 93K and, the world is, coming unglued, whatever. Fernando, a new VIP member. We appreciate all of our customers. As I used to say at Schwab, we appreciate your business. We do. We very much do. Okay. Definitely appreciate anybody coming in here. BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF to open options trading. Here's why it could be a big deal for Bitcoin. I just simply told you that. Like, this makes every macro hedge fund, everybody who could trade options in the mutual fund world, in the pension fund world, anybody, retail's like, well, I really don't understand Bitcoin, but I do understand options. I do understand that I would wake up every day, make a cup of coffee, and buy an NVIDIA call options. NVIDIA would go up, and I bought a house. Oh, gee, you mean we could do that again with Bitcoin and then Ethereum? Huh? Fantastic. Folks, it is that simple. I know that we have to get the cycle. We look at MVER, and, we have to get the on-chain data. Yeah, no, people in equities in their pajamas are like, oh, yeah, this is going up. Oh, okay, let's get some. Seriously. Or sector guys like, oh, yeah, I think we got a little bit too much tech stocks here. These guys might get in trouble with the new administration. Oh, yeah, look, Bitcoin. Oh, BlackRock has that. Oh, okay, yeah, let's get some of that. It's that simple. Not to mention, again, you'll see the slides, the orange man and the orange coin move together. They move together. So if you goose Bitcoin, you goose an entire industry, right? I mean, what would happen if you had two Wall Streets? I know that Wall Street is not the most popular group of characters. Wall Street were part of what drove the economy in the 80s and in the 90s before Silicon Valley took center stage. You could goose everything with just Bitcoin. BlackRock says there's a renewed sense of optimism following the event in November and the idea of a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Translated into English, okay, all of BlackRock's massive customers are all coming. All of them. Like, BlackRock is on the phone with their people. Goldman is on the phone with BlackRock. Everybody's on the phone with everybody else going, oh my God, how do we FOMO into this? Like, that's it. It's not should we FOMO in, it's how do we FOMO in? How can we get some of this before it goes to 100K? And frankly, the only reason for Bitcoin to stop is because somebody like BlackRock might attempt somehow to hold it down so that people can somehow get in. Like, ooh, scary geopolitical headline this morning. Blowing up some empty buildings. Yeah, okay. Meanwhile, Michael Saylor, BlackRock, everybody. And if you think it's just going to be Bitcoin, you're crazy. Like, everybody's giving up on ETH. Everybody's giving up on Polkadot, Cardano, Algorand, ICP. I could go on and on and on and on. Americans spend $546 billion trying to figure out their taxes. How about we not do that and put our money in Coinbase? Michael Saylor to raise $1.7 billion to buy more. He's going to pay 100, He'll be on the tape saying, I'm buying right now. Kathy Wood's going to do the same thing. I would do it. If I was gig along a position, he did it at 20. I know I talk about this every stream, but I don't care because he's going to do it. And the market, it's not priced in yet. None of this is priced in. Everyone's like, okay, I'm bullish. I might be long, but are you long the right stuff? Are you fully invested? Or are you chasing other stuff? Do you know that the stuff that they built in 2021 is now going to get used? Okay, so, Vladdy's not too happy about what's going on over there. My argument is if his national security, if his physical security and his security of his people and his military was actually in jeopardy, yeah, they would have done something about that already. This thing where, we go back and forth. No, that's just theater so that the orange man come in, take over, make peace. Okay. Again, everybody says everybody's going to launch whatever. I mean, it's sad because people get hurt, but this is not going to stop Web3. It's not. Okay. It takes the threat of something horrible happening to get the bond market to stop going down and interest rates to stop going up. You know, the bond market knows that they're going to change the tax structure and economic growth is going to be higher. Okay. How is economic growth going to be higher? Crypto. Crypto, crypto, crypto. I mean, Charles Hopkins is going to sit down with the orange man and explain to him that you can build a whole new version of Wall Street and the internet right here, made in America. Is Wall Street too pumped up? Maybe. Okay. It's not about the policies that they're writing about. It's the policies that haven't been announced yet, which is Web3. Personal income taxes in Europe. Can you imagine if you could build a system where they couldn't shut the social media off? You could have freedom somewhere else other than Switzerland, right? You know, what is it that people want in the world? Freedom. Okay. What is it that people really like? Making money, right? If you have a new gold rush, right? If you have a super cycle, right? The super cycle could apply to memes. It definitely applies to Bitcoin. What else does it apply to? Everyone's like, you know, everyone goes, it's a super cycle. And everyone like the Muppet Show goes, yeah, it's a super cycle. Okay. Then if it's a super cycle, why is Chainlink at 10 or 11 or 12 or whatever it's at? Just an example. Why is everybody dumping XRP at $1? I mean, where is YouTube going? XRP is going to $10 and meaning it. I mean, if total crypto market cap goes to like 6 trillion and XRP has the kind of, you know, market dominance that say an Ethereum or Solana has right now, it's $10. Right? If total crypto market cap goes to 10 trillion, that could be led by XRP. You don't know that. So all these guys that had all these insane price targets, where are they? All I can tell you is when it comes to that, the hat stays on. The hat stays on. You may need different payment systems in Latin America or Europe. You don't know. BlackRock, ETF options. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Just all day, every day. Right? You know, this is now on legacy stock market media, just so you know. MetaPlanet buys another 1.7 billion yen worth of Bitcoin. Their holdings are now 1,000 Bitcoin. How many people do you think are going to do this? Genius Group launches Bitcoin treasury. ETH performing near all-time highs in key metrics. Wait, you mean ETH is someone still over there on ETH? Yeah, someone's still over there on ETH. It's not meme trading. It's not altcoin trading for right now. But what happens if that gets going? What happens if Uniswap and Maker have institutional announcements? What happens with synthetics? What happens with all this ETH-based DeFi? Yeah, some of these companies have their own blockchains. Layer 2s may wind up capturing value. But again, no one's using their imagination. Like, can you imagine what this market looks like with Ethereum moving? Like everyone's like, oh, it's a super cycle, but I hate ETH. Oh, it's a super cycle. Well, I don't want any of those old boomer coins. The boomer coins were designed to build Web3. And if the orange man wants Web3 made in America, forget about it. NFT sales volume is up 60% across Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana over the last 7 days. Art is back. AI art is back. Fine art is back. They're back. They're going to speculate in whatever they can speculate in, right? It's the nature of the Gann work, Pluto and Aquarius, mass market psychology. It's happening. And I am totally okay with it because if this brings billions upon billions of dollars, if the only thing you knew in crypto was bonk and you bought bonk, seriously, good for you because you're in now. Now, I personally don't want to own other people's bags come March, but there's a lot of time between now and say March. Okay. Don't underestimate what can happen here when all of this gets going at once for a good reason. 2021 was venture capital pump and Fed liquidity. This is real. Note, altcoin trading volume rises. Okay, so not quite at 2021 levels yet. Sort of. But It's not insane. It's not up here. It's not 400 billion. It's half of what it was at the peak. and nothing has moved. Total crypto market cap without Bitcoin. Hasn't moved because ETH hasn't moved. Solana, Solana should be at 600 by now. I don't know why it isn't, but it probably will be. In my opinion, Solana hasn't done anything. Solana's back to where it was in 2021. So what? The volume on Solana is epic, and the phone is coming out in March. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to say nothing has happened, but nothing has happened. There are so many places in the market where nothing has happened. Oh, by the way, that's all the Web3 components. You know what I'm saying? Like Web3 was saying Web3 was the easiest way to get a job or a date in 2020. Now you say Web3 and you get okay boomer, which is why the hat stays on. Okay. When this meme coin thing spreads out, right? Every bull market starts with the most speculative assets, right? When this thing spreads out and all this money that's pouring into hedge funds, where do you think they're going to go with all that money? Where are they going with it? Where's Galaxy Digital going to go with it? Believe it or not, if you watch this interview, Michael Saylor starts off by telling you that he's okay with stocks being tokenized. And if Katy Perry wants to issue a coin, she's feel free to do that. So there is no second best, but y'all can party on anyway, right? Because Bitcoin lifts the boats underneath, and all the boats underneath can lift Bitcoin. So why not put the cowboy hat on? You know what I'm saying? Like, Bitcoin does better in a digital asset economy. And he knows that the orange man is in. Now, Peter Schiff, a famous Bitcoin hater who's going to have to move to a new planet, okay, is making fun of Michael Saylor, and Michael Saylor doesn't care. Michael Saylor is the power of conviction. So if you're new and you just got here, right, we are bullish. We are long. We are in the YouTube membership area. We are in Patreon. We are following Michael Saylor's lead, right? This market goes down, boom. I'm on the air with a cowboy hat on. You know what kind of cringe this probably creates with people who are bullish? Good. You want to know when the best time to do bullish cringe is? When Polkadot has a single-digit price, when Cardano is under $1, when everybody wants to sell XRP, when everybody doesn't even know what Algorand and Hedera are or why you would buy them. Peter Schiff, yeah, I hate Bitcoin. Okay, bro, you just go right ahead and carry on with that. Right? Michael Saylor doesn't care. Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy will always be cheap. That's the bottom line at what this person is trying to say. Why? Because in order to buy that much Bitcoin, you'd have to buy the company. You could not get a hold of that much Bitcoin unless you bought the company or unless you wanted Bitcoin to go to $750,000. I mean, how high would you have to bid Bitcoin up that Michael Saylor would start to sell? Cathie Wood is bullish on 500 trillion tokenization market cap. Wait a minute. You mean they're going to put all of Wall Street on the blockchain? These are the real world asset tokens on Banter Bubbles. So Wonderwoo, Toby Ward, okay, this is what she uses to do her relative sector analysis. Everybody gave up on Propy for housing. Okay, it's back. Checks, Ondo, OM. OM went from $1.50 to $5, and everyone just looked at it like, oh, gee, that's nice. Wonder how that happened. 160% for OM. What do you think is going to happen in this RWA sector, by the way, which is covered in the podcast and in the member podcast? We're actually going to specifics. There's a specific video on RWA and AI, essentially our picks in this horse race. This is just the generic real world asset thing from Banter. What do you think is going to happen here when Cathie Wood and BlackRock start making announcements? Forget about it. Just forget about it. I mean, there's up only, and then it feels like it's completely mispriced. Like it's just going to go up and keep going up and not stop, right? That's how mispriced it is. Orange Man, SEC pick, sends a certain altcoin, Hedera, soaring. think the orange man's figured this out? Like, ooh, appoint this person, say this, make this phone call. Coinbase CEO says Department of Government Efficiency is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and advocates as much tax relief as possible. And advocates for as much tax release as possible so people can put the money in Bitcoin. Wouldn't that be funny? If there was a mechanism where the government could put more money in the hands of people who don't have money, who could then open up a Coinbase account and then experience a wealth effect that used to only be available for people who could afford to buy the Magnificent Seven. I mean, how hard is this? I mean, we'll go into it. I can barely control myself until we get to the PowerPoint, but I mean, really, how hard is this? Economics professor doubts the impact of blah, 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 blah. You know, you've made tons of money fading the guy that builds rockets that go to Mars and then land on the same launch pad that they came off like something out of Star Trek. Yeah, you've made tons of money fading that guy. What happens if he just wants to put, like, you know, especially with people at the low end of the income bracket, what happens if he wants to put money into people's hands so they can invest in Bitcoin, Tesla, Doge, whatever, right? What happens if you put investment capital in the hands of the American people? Like, historically, like, what happens when you give Americans opportunity? Historically, what do? Sit around and wait for our check on the dole? Well, we tried that in 2020. It didn't really work out. Now we're going to go in the other direction. We're going to put our cowboy hats on. We're going to mount up. We're going to get capital in the private sector. And then the private sector is going to go make votes in the capital markets and vote for the things that they think have the best future. And then, you know, rising asset prices allow companies to raise money and build things. You are now free to build about the country. No one has figured this out. Like, well, you know, Elon could never cut as much with the Department of Government Efficiency as he thinks, blah, 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 blah. He doesn't have to cut everything. He has to cut enough to get money in the American people's pockets so they can, one, survive, and two, invest. Public blockchain said to play a central role in finance. Gee, I wonder what blockchain they could be talking about there. Matic, Ethereum. You know, Toby Ward at the beginning of this year, like, there's some stuff that she says where I go looking for the clues and I'm like, okay, you know, let's see. She sees this. Well, what's next? You know what she's talking about earlier in the year? And I'm just like, woman, what are you talking about? She's like, layer twos. I'm like, layer twos? We can't even wake up ETH. Who, you know, we have 27 layer twos. What do we need them for? Now I'm like, oh my God. Somebody wants to put the whole world running on Ethereum. I think we're going to need layer twos. I mean, it's that simple. Wall Street banking giants load up on ETFs. Yeah, because if you're an asset manager and you don't have it and it goes up 50% while everything else is going down, you're fired. This is called the I don't want to get fired game at Wall Street. Strategic, marketing, investing. Bitcoin at 100K is no longer a dream, believe traders. Really? Wow. I'm glad you guys came around to that. You know, I was there in April. Toby was at 120. I think the video is somewhere on Unhinged, right? It's on there. Like 120K Bitcoin, like 5 months ago. People thought we were crazy. Here it is. People thought we were out of our minds. Like the woman who interviewed me from CoinDesk is like, okay, boomer. Yeah, here it is. 120K Bitcoin. 4 months ago. 103 views. And proud of it. Okay. But of course, now it's obvious. Now, you want to know what's not obvious? The fact that they just blow through 100. The fact that 100 is Michael Saylor just goes, yeah, it's 100. Boom. Buy me $1 billion. Buy me $1 billion. Oh, it's at 105. Oh, buy me another $1 billion. Let's make sure they really understand. Let's make sure they understand what's happening here. This thing could get wild, right? Because everyone's like, oh, it's at 100. Okay, it's at 105. Okay, what's the wow factor now? You know, wow factor could be 120. Could be a wild Santa rally or a massive ETH catch-up or both. I mean, can you imagine what Bitcoin does if the whole ecosystem is rallying underneath it? Nobody understands what's going to happen here. People are bullish. People might be long, but are they long enough and are long the right stuff? Especially if you're talking about like, hey, I want to set it and forget it for like, years and just, buy the dip on major volatility, just like equities. Like the Magnificent Seven, I was too young to really understand what was happening, even though I watched the people doing it. Now I'm old enough. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, amid Tesla-fueled tech stock rally. BTC could reach 138 before a major pullback. Again, another Toby Ward theory that you're not going to see profit taking until it's absurdly above 100. Till it's like, okay, wow, okay, this might be overdone. Like, what is that number exactly? And where would the rest of the market be? Again, no one is asking this question, right? Like, if these huge large cap stocks, large cap cryptos took off, they might hurt some of the stupid speculative meme coins, maybe. But I mean, everyone's like, well, Doge is obviously going to $1. Well, okay, dude, it's got a $60 billion market cap. Like, what happens if Doge goes to $1, right? Let me just pull this up. I'm just gonna, I think I'm feeling the long stream today, right? What happens if you go to the market cap chart and you start doing meme coin math here? See what kind of market cap we got for Doge. What do we got? 60 billion. XRP, 60 billion. Solana, 115 billion. So how about 100 billion for Doge, 100 billion for XRP, 100 billion for Cardano, 50 billion for Avalanche, 100 billion for SUI, 100 billion for Chainlink, 100 billion for Polkadot. How about it? Right? If Doge is going to $5, where are all these other large cap coins going from a market cap perspective? And is $60 billion a lot of money for Web3? I mean, Ethereum is worth 377 billion and everybody thinks it's trash. So are you telling me that the rest of this stuff cannot go to 100 billion? Like Doge and XRP cannot go to 100 billion. And there isn't other coins in here that couldn't catch up to 100 billion. I mean, this stuff happened in 2021. Chainlink was top 5 in 2020. So was, I believe, Maker. Or some boomer DeFi project. No, it was Compound. What happens if these things make comebacks? What happens if the orange man goes, yeah, we want this like yesterday. We want it like we want a big casino. For the first time ever, one Bitcoin is now worth more than the average retirement savings. Solana is now the #1 most used chain. Phantom has big news to share. They're getting more secure. Hit the explore button to find more meme coins. Ethereum has fallen out of investor favor. Here's how and why. It's out of favor because it's not going up and it doesn't make it easy to trade meme coins. That's why. 60 publicly traded companies have a Bitcoin strategy. How many private companies are following? And nobody knows where Silicon Valley is. Hedera, what's that? Oh, it's one of the 4 companies made in America. Okay. Yeah, I really do think Polkadot could do that. And I am sharing screen. I'm sorry. Thank you. Taiwan's financial authority pledges to address crypto tax evasion. How about you make crypto friendly there? Let's do it. You don't need crypto tax evasion if everybody has a pro-crypto policy. U.S. crypto exchange launches in France. Like if the French are letting you have crypto, you know crypto is cool. We love our friends in Europe, but let's face it. People want freedom and capital appreciation. Okay. Can you believe it? I ran out of news. Okay. Now let's see who we got in the chat. Farmer Sam Forrest is here. Welcome. Welcome to the show. What are your thoughts on Filecoin? Yes, Filecoin, the graph on Coinbase. Multi-coin capital picks. Don't fade it. I know this stuff is dead. I know it's frankly embarrassing to talk about it. It's hard to talk about these things. It's hard to talk about Fetch. It's hard to talk about Filecoin. It's hard to talk about the graph. It's hard to talk about ETH. No one believes in Polkadot. Polkadot is money to get involved in to buy Polkadot software. That's what it is. That's what Chainlink is. People are going to need to buy software. Okay. Vibiz says base volumes will pass Solana soon, and that's also going to happen, right? Anything that's traded on Coinbase, like if you have Web3 on Coinbase, people are going to FOMO in. Okay. Dietz likes ZRO, and so do I. Okay. Gian is here. Welcome. Welcome, sir. Can we look at Arweave? Yes. Okay. So before we go to PowerPoint, let's try to knock out some popular requests. XRP. Okay. We'll get on it. Arweave. You know how much of the market looks like this? Sitting on like a LuxAlgo trend line. So LuxAlgo draws trend lines and like formations, like triangles all the time. You just can't believe when you see the PowerPoint. It's just like what money this stuff has been. Just like basic trend lines, just like stuff that you might not think to draw. So there's Arweave sitting here, and it's 284% to equilibrium on a weekly chart. That's not labeled right. Let's go to a daily. Okay. So obviously a lot of long-term upside here. Okay, this is Arweave, and this is everywhere. This is literally everywhere. This is like the new, first was head and shoulders bottom, teacup and handle, 3 pimples to pop, however you want to say it. Okay, no. Okay, LuxAlgo, drawing this stuff everywhere. Upward sloping accumulation cones, bullish downward sloping wedges. It's everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Up, retest, boom. Okay, Arweave, first stop, most likely 38% higher. I don't know what stops any of this stuff that has Web3 value propositions. Like, obviously, I don't know the fundamentals of every single coin, so that I have to leave to you. XRP. Big Fibonacci circle point at like $1.17. You know, I had $1.80 by January. You know, I think the max upside target for January is 280. Frankly, I think that's more likely. No signs of excess FOMO here. I don't understand why this would not just go straight up with the orange man in play. Just launch. This is the weekly chart. No, as I'm telling you, you got to get all your like Ben Armstrong, BitBoy, XRP $10 videos out. It's going to happen. And it just may not stop. Right? Because when people figure this out, right? When people figure out like the United States government wants to do something, like name 2 examples when the United States government came out and said, we're doing something, and then they did it. That would be the Normandy landing in World War II, the space program, and now Web3. And people just are not listening. Okay, so Aero is in this like really choppy area, but LuxAlgo is still positive on a daily chart. I I think Aero on like a tactical chart is doing just fine. Like LuxAlgo's kind of buying the dip today. I think this is fine. You got a dip to like $1 something. I mean, eventually the base ecosystem explodes. I think people get impatient because whatever they're holding isn't moving like meme coins, and you just can't look at it or you'll go insane. And I sold Peanut too early. What are you going to do? You're going to miss Web3? You're going to not focus on what you need to focus on? ETH versus Bitcoin down 5% today. Like ETH versus Bitcoin on an 89-minute chart, just like absolute new low, give up, pack it in, done, don't care anymore. It's unbelievable. Like they're throwing this stuff in the garbage. And that's when you grab it. And it's just laughable, right? It's embarrassing. You're going to talk about what? Cosmos, Rune, just you can't talk about it. Because, you know, the world's ending, right? Everyone knows the world's ending because we blew up a bunch of garages, okay? Degen on an 89-minute chart is at a balance zone. It broke out of its kind of LuxAlgo triangle that they make on the downside. You know, decentralized social media, but on a 4-hour chart, it's reached the balance zone. And, you know, the top of its alligator mouth is all the way up here, like 60, 80% higher. You have to be careful in Degen of what you might call a reclaim. So right now it's outside its little like alligator mouth formation that LuxAlgo drew. Look the F out if it gets back above here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's 0.026. Like get out of the way. Get out of the way. PowerPoint coming up after this. Okay, Kale I do not have. Celer. Okay, Celer. You know, massive attempt to take it lower, and LuxAlgo in putting support underneath the market. Right? I don't see any reason to fade any of this stuff because this thing was breaking out one coin at a time before we had the news. ATOM. ATOM is trading at equilibrium on a daily chart. Want to know what's happening in ATOM? Nothing. ATOM breaks out, retests support, goes back up. Retest support, $6.35. Wouldn't be shocked if it kind of just sat there for a while. Premium zone in Cosmos is $50 away. Super, another Coinbase play. You know, going back and forth inside of one of these channels. Now, I know this is outperformed, so maybe you get a lot of sideways action. You can see the head and shoulders bottom here and how this thing exploded way beyond its target, like way beyond. I don't know. You get down here close to $1.19 and boom. Like there's no reason to believe that this would stop. None. I mean, you tell me. Like, you tell me. I mean, I know I'm the guy wearing the cowboy hat, so I guess maybe you have to take me with a grain of salt. I wouldn't. I mean, every time, and if you broke out at the top of this thing like you did in OM, again, when I get to the PowerPoint, it's like, forget about it. Okay, Ribbit. Yo, what are you guys doing out there? 1 million market cap. Don't get killed. I don't, you know, like not anything against anybody's meme coin, right? I don't like what I call the double spike, right? This is like one spike. And if this is the second spike, normally don't exactly like that, right? I like to see square consolidation, so this may have a future, later. Right now, I don't know if I'd be chasing things that spike up and immediately come back down again. You want to see square consolidations. Okay. All right. I got to go to Polkadot. Okay. I got to go to PowerPoint. I know there's a group of people that explode if I don't do PowerPoint. Polkadot. So Polkadot has a lid on it at 6, right? That's the lid. Can't get through there. It's been banging, 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 banging. Can't do it. Okay. Share screen. God. Sorry. Third stream of the day. I think the way to look at Polkadot is like a weekly chart. Polkadot is still in the discount zone. It has the strongest LuxAlgo buy signal possible. And it's 360% away from its equilibrium. And I got Gann work, AI-based stuff that says Polkadot 75, and no one wants it at $5 because everything else is going up more than Polkadot. That's why no one wants it. It's unbearable, right? Like bull markets, what do they do? First, they bore you. Then they stop you out. Then there's a crash. Then your stuff underperforms. Then everybody else is making money but you. It's the biggest head game ever. The reason you get research, the reason you subscribe to the membership, the reason you join Patreon, the reason you watch this YouTube channel, the reason you watch the Unhinged Crypto YouTube channel is because you don't fall for these psychological traps of like, oh, I'm exhausted or I missed out or there's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. I'm just going to give you the facts, and then you're going to shut the stream off and you're going to look at your portfolio or go to Coinbase and you'll know what to do. It's that simple. Like if any analyst is any good, that's the way it should be. Analysts help traders. That's what I do. That's what we do. Me, Toby Ward, Wonder Woo, and the Eagle King. Market update. Not investment advice. Okay, so XRP monthly. You'll be surprised to know that this is the month where you're supposed to get a dip. That's not the way it happened. Last month was the dip. So I would take any dip that you get, especially if XRP holds above $1, right? And just to tell you how beat up XRP is, the last time XRP closed above $1 was November of 2021. If this is not the bigger the base, the higher in the space, I don't know what is. That's like a 3-year range, right? 2022, 2023, and 2024. Is there anyone left in XRP? No. And wouldn't it be funny if XRP exploded the night of the BitBoy fight in December, which I think is like early December? BitBoy said the bull market can't start until he does his fight. I think the bull market in memes and all that and Bitcoin is well on its way. But what happens if XRP just goes? Again, folks, this is a fast form of money. Litecoin decided to become a meme coin. So for money, there's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum, maybe. There's Bitcoin Cash, which has probably got Mt. Gox sellers sitting on top of it, I guess. Or maybe not, I don't know. But like, what's money? Like, what's money that's recognizable, that has a low dollar price, even though the market cap is high? Or is it? Okay, the moment you've been waiting for. Orange Man's social media company, DJT, in advanced talks to purchase cryptocurrency trading platform Bakkt. So let me get this straight. Let's just go over this real clear, real concise. The guy who builds giant office buildings in New York City, casinos, opulence everywhere, Mar-a-Lago, golf course, mansion, whatever, a guy who does go big or go home wants a crypto trading platform on a social media company. And then this is the thing I just can't believe people don't understand. So the president of the United States gets on the phone with the kid who runs Coinbase. Now, the president of the United States, I'm sure, is getting just enough, adequate advice about crypto. So let me ask you something. What happens with the money that Uncle Sugar saves from whatever it's going to do on efficiency? And what happens if it allocates money to Coinbase Ventures and says, you know what, we as in the government can't figure this out, but what if we formed a non-governmental entity where we gave money to you to get this ecosystem going? Like, we can't figure out where to allocate the money, but maybe you can. It's either that or they're talking about, I don't know, catching up on the NFL or sports. Or what are they talking about? What they're talking about is the same thing that the guy from Cardano is talking about. I mean, what do you think is going to happen when he gets on Joe Rogan and says, we're doing Web3? What's he going to talk about for 3 hours? He's on the phone with Armstrong, for God's sakes, talking about Web3 made in America. I mean, do you have any idea what that means for all this stuff that they built in 2020 that they said had no use? That includes Ethereum. Like, I mean, they couldn't stop mooning it in 2021. They couldn't stop mooning it. Now, of course, they didn't have memes. I get it. The fast money's doing something else right now. But what happens when these guys are in? I mean, how has it worked fading this guy? Do you think he's going to oh, wow. Yeah, let's not do this. I want to be less popular. Hedera goes up 29% on rumors or whatever. It's crypto made in America and karate combat. LuxAlgo buy signal the day before the ramp. Hedera is 56% away from a triangle top, 100% away from equilibrium, and 284% where it was in 2021. What does Hedera do? I suggest you find out. Because if this thing is a layer 1 and you can build something on it, guess what? It's kind of like you woke up one day and you had like a normal little house and you discovered that, there was like oil or gold underneath your little house, and your little house that was worth $50,000 is now worth $50 million. This kind of could be the same way. Like the orange man's on the phone, like, what do we got in the United States? Who can we call? He's already called the guy from Ripple. Who's he going to call? I mean, the guy from Hedera is already in line possibly for SEC. He's calling everybody. Just in case you don't understand what the LuxAlgo thing means, when you have these like trend lines that spread out like this, again, I drew over them, but LuxAlgo draws them automatically. So down here, you had you had OM go up like 4 or 5%. I think it was here maybe. And then again here, like on a day when the market was down, and then whoop. I've been saying all along, Toby Ward's had this in every portfolio that we have since the membership thing started. This is in every portfolio and has been. And I bull posted it like as it took off in one of the member videos. And we're like, we just did new ones. I can't get member videos done fast enough. Again, the Gann report on the revolution of Pluto and its movement into the Aquarius section of space. The new American revolution is Web3. You don't think this is powerful? Look at the meme coin super cycle. Look at the power of Gann mass psychology. OM is people tokenizing treasury bills to borrow stable coins to FOMO into this market. And it's just a capital F for FOMO. Because they know what happened with the Magnificent Seven. They know this whole market is sitting there undervalued. They know that no one wants it. What goes up in a bull market? What no one understands, that's meme coins. Okay. What no one owns, that's probably Web3. Okay. What no one understands, what no one owns, and everyone hates. Right? Everyone hates all this stuff I'm talking about. They just hate it. They gave up on XRP. They gave up on Cardano. I mean, they gave up on XRP and they make fun of Cardano. Algorand. What does Algorand do? The only thing I know about Algorand is that back in the day, this was going to be like, this was Wall Street's favorite coin in the beginning, trying to maybe do security tokens or whatever. I don't know what Algorand does. You know, I know AJ Wrights Crypto is really into it, right? I don't know if they sponsor his channel. I don't know what the deal is, but he's a very big Algorand guy. What has Algorand done for 3 years? Nothing. Nothing. I mean, if the Orange Man, if Algorand headquarters, you know, if they have like a little cake, you know, like the old Batman commercials where they're going to have a red phone inside of a cake dish. You pull off the top of the cake dish and answer the red phone, and it's the Orange Man going, what can we build on your platform? How many people can you hire? We have Silicon Valley on the other line. We're going to patch them in, and they're going to partner with you because we said so. Where is this going? I mean, everybody's asleep on it. Like I have to. I don't know who's talking about this. I'm not you know, like I saw one guy I respect. He had a thumbnail that I copied called "I'm buying." I'm like, well, that's perfect. Let me do that. I'm buying. I think the only reason that stream didn't go to 2,000 views is because everybody got all wound up about this geopolitical thing. I'm like, oh my God, thank goodness, right? You know, a paycheck can come in. I can just plow into this thing. You know, Black Friday, I don't know, man. Black Friday is happening right now on Coinbase. Doge. So just in case you think this can't get totally silly, these things, like these cone formations, they're accumulation cones. This goes back to Jesse Livermore, who was a trader back in the early 20th century. So that's like 1920. First technical analysis textbook was his notebook. And he would notice that these accumulation cones would occur before something goes parabolic. Now, I know it looks like Doge is already going parabolic, but can you imagine if there's more? You imagine if 60 billion is not enough. If this becomes money, the official coin of Twitter, I don't know. But what's going to stop it? What's going to stop this from going to 100 billion? Because if you go online, right, everyone's like, oh yeah, Doge to $1. Okay, well, do the market cap math like we did earlier. Okay, if Doge goes to $1 and Doge is at 100 billion, then what about the rest of the market? What else should be at 100 billion? What else should be at 50 billion? Just like you do with meme coins, right? I mean, what are the milestones for meme coins? 1 million, 25 million, 50 million, 200 million, and $1 billion. Maybe 500. Okay. So just, you know, add a zero. 20 billion, 50 billion, 100 billion, 300 billion, like Ethereum. Yeah. What? You don't think this stuff can go there? Like, what do you think Hodgkins, like is that you got crypto guys on Joe Rogan. And then of course there's the inauguration in January, right? And everybody's going to want a Merry Christmas, right? Everybody's going to want that to happen. So how are they going to get that done? Well, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to get on the tape and they're going to bull post all this stuff. They're going to have announcement after announcement after announcement after announcement. And then BlackRock is going to have announcement. Goldman, ARK, Tesla, right? Which Silicon Valley company is going to capitulate and bow down? I mean, I think Avalanche and Amazon already have a partnership. What's going to happen? When everybody's got to have when every single executive, every earnings report released in January for publicly traded equities, their earnings conference call, they're going to be like, what is your Bitcoin strategy? What is your blockchain strategy? That's the way it was in 2017. After the massive ramp, everybody was like, well, if you didn't say blockchain in your earnings call, your stock went down. And that was way back when. That was way before this was anywhere close to real. Bitcoin on an 89-minute chart. So this kind of states the obvious, right? Every time you break out of one of these LuxAlgo formations on whatever time frame it is, then you just go up. right? Especially these upward sloping ones. ETH, it can go back to 3,200. One day ETH will wake up. And when it does, it'll be spectacular. That's all I can say. I understand there's an opportunity cost to ETH, right? But that's what makes it so powerful, right? There's no reason to own it. There's no reason to own anything related to Web3 because everything is so hot over at meme coins. It's like you just can't not go over there. In other words, even though it's a bull market, it's impossible to be long this stuff because it's not moving. Which means when it does move, like Hedera, like XRP, like Algorand, it's just going to be boom, 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 boom. 40%, 50%, 100%. Look what OM did. Like what? That can't happen everywhere? What happens if Galaxy Digital comes out? They've been building on Cosmos. They've been building everything over there. XRP slumped below its triangle on an 89-minute chart. Okay, well, we'll see if it does a reclaim. Cardano, up. This looks like ETH back in the day. Up, square. Up, square. I mean, this thing could be complete garbage for all I know. I guess they'll take U.S. government money and make it not garbage. This guy's been broadcasting out of his little bedroom like me, right? Now, this guy could be in charge of everything. And this thing, this thing went to $3 on bull posting on YouTube. And because, he would do interviews with this guy. And I've said this, right? If you doubt the resolve of the people in charge here, you may miss out on an opportunity because everyone's going to come in when a Cardano is at $2 and say, what dip should I buy? And there will be dips in 2025, but that's much more difficult. That's what I was trying to tell you 2 months ago, right? It's like, hey, get involved when all this stuff is down and no one wants it. Now it's up, like a Bonk or a Pepe and stuff like that. Okay, now it's harder. Now, that doesn't mean it can't be done. Okay, Maker, DeFi, who wants this? Nobody. It's at the bottom of one of these open-mouthed alligator formations made by LuxAlgo. This could go from 1,400 to 1,700 before it even gets to resistance, in my opinion. These are all short-term charts. OM is traveling in one of these bands. It gets back above the bottom of the band and goes to 550. Who knows? Near. No one wants it. Sitting on the bottom of one of these cones. It sits here. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. But if they can't break it and it comes back through, you're looking at $8. SUI. Okay. 5-wave top. So you get a pause, but there's another little formation here. And more importantly, what's SUI doing on the consolidation? Sideways square. I mean, SUI's top 10. What happens if the SUI market cap doubles, the Solana market cap doubles, the Ethereum market cap doubles? What happens? Is this cheap? I know somebody who's yeah, I thought I was a genius for selling Ethereum at $8. You know what I'm saying? I know it looks like a lot of money, but is it? I mean, it is in your P&L. And if you need to pay bills, you need to pay bills. But what exactly are we talking about here? How high can this go if you get square consolidations? And that is the market update. Patricio, welcome. All right, let's see who's here. Stormin Norman, missed OM. Okay. Stormin Norman is where are those billions coming from? Dude, the billions in investment dollars, okay, could be coming from legacy. And if the government makes an announcement that they want Web3, so this is PEAQ, if I have this right. I mean, it'll go down, and let's just look at this consolidation, assuming I have the right contract. Even if I don't, it's a good lesson. Okay, so that was a much smaller dip. So this is not doing the standard meme coin dip thing. I don't know, man. Don't fade anything that's down, that's up when the market is down. Don't. Because the market is telling you what it wants to do. It really is. Okay, somebody missed OM. I can go back over that. I mean, folks, when you have something like this, right? Let me just take it off. When you have something like this and it trades in these cones, right? Like this, LuxAlgo draws it. Again, the LuxAlgo affiliate link is down below. Please check it out. It's a no-brainer. I probably undersell it, but the whole stream is like a LuxAlgo tutorial. Now, the big question with OM is, now that it's made its move, what does it take with it? Like, what's the sector rotation game inside the real-world asset universe? Currently, there's a video about it in the member area. These are all the different real-world asset plays today, right? And, you know, if you go to the channel, right, and you get in this member area, okay, sharing the screen now. Okay, the next 5X sectors, right? We got coins in there. We got coins in the portfolio update, right? I think that's where we got OM, right? This is the latest alt season podcast in full swing right now. 3 days before this thing went crazy. So this is the member video section. Please check it out. I cannot publish in there enough. I cannot. I mean, I can, but you know what I'm saying. This thing is absolutely crazy. It's crazy, and it's not even crazy yet. It's not crazy yet, right? Storm and Norman with the Toby Ward emoji, right? Chainlink, according to CLOS, yes, it is an RWA play. It is. Because Chainlink is going to have to connect everything. And again, this is another thing we've been talking about. You know, it's like everything is going to go back to its March high. Everything, right? Chainlink is RWA and cross-chain. And again, who wants to do Chainlink? Nobody. Nobody. Nobody wants to look at this. I mean, this is coming out of a consolidation formation, right? So here's your LuxAlgo formation. And these things are impossible to be long. Why are they impossible to be long? Well, I don't know, man. Look at Popcat, smoking higher. Bonk, smoking higher, right? Nobody probably has enough capital to allocate between the two because everybody wants the stuff that's hot. Oh, understandably. I mean, people are chasing the beta. I get it. I totally get it. The question is, are you buying someone else's bags in bonk? Then you look at Polkadot and it's totally dead. No one will touch it. No one will touch it. You might not touch it. You may say, you know what? I'm bullish, but I won't touch it. They won't want it at 6, but at 12, it'll be much more appealing because it'll be moving. Like, jokes aside, it'll be moving. Like, what's moving now? Gods Unchained, Beam, right? Bitcoin, Solana, Bonk. What else is moving today? Like this, it may be this simple. Like what's moving on a down day? Cardano, JKL. I want to say that's liquid staking. SUI is up today. Doge, Xano, QNT. If XRP is going up, QNT, right? QNT. Cetus. I want to say we had this in our Coinbase portfolio. You know, see, like, look at this, man. So you have your accumulation cone, right? Again, it's all drawn by LuxAlgo. I seriously doubt I would think to draw these things. You break out, you do a 5-wave top, you come back down, and it holds right there, right on the line. See this? So let me ask you something. Do you think I'm the only one who sees all of this? I'm not the only one who sees this stuff. Not. Right? What's my favorite exchange after Coinbase? Well, in the day, I was a crypto.com guy. I've always liked Kraken. I had a good experience with Kraken. Right? You know, I don't talk about that stuff because, you know, one, it's always good to keep it, you know, in an American regulated environment. But two, that's where the normies are going. Theta up today. Beam X, we talked about it yesterday. Popcat is up. Hoppy is up. I think somebody on the stream likes Hoppy, right? GTO, Grass is like an AI play, I think. Good luck stopping this stuff. By the way, AI is like another sector. It's harder because you don't know if it's the AI agents or actual AI coins. But if you got something AI and it's moving, jump in on that. Okay, Chosen One, Dusk, love it. Love it. Okay, how do you get these cones in LuxAlgo? Good question. Let's check it out. Okay, so I think you go to price action concepts, right? That's the name of the indicator. And then when it gets over here, you find it and you double click on it. And you click patterns and trend lines. And it draws the stuff automatically for you. The menus are extremely complicated. It sounds like I got to make a video on it. Okay. All right, folks. Okay. Someone's looking for SUI. I mean, the thing about SUI is, like, if you look at a 4-hour chart, so you do have a premium zone resistance block here. So that's legit, but the real resistance in SUI is up here at the top of this cone at 460. And of course, SUI is making these just square consolidation formations. Again, this was like ETH back in the day. It's like, it doesn't go down anymore. Like going down, like in order for this market to go down, it has to go massively higher. I don't know if that's like a new cheesy saying, but this thing can't go down until it gets ridiculous. I don't even think you can use the premium zone on this anymore. I don't know, because it's already there. Right? But I mean, if you look at SUI on a weekly basis, one, it hasn't been around that long. And two, what is this? Since it started, a giant square consolidation formation. If this was a meme coin, you'd be FOMOing in with your grandma's rent money. Right? So the triangles and those things are under price action concepts. All right. Let me just double check that. Right. Price action concepts, trend lines, patterns, and zones. Okay. Folks, we definitely appreciate you staying around today. YouTube members, let's go. Right. In other words, this thing is down, so it doesn't feel urgent. Right. I know somebody asked for dusk. Let me do that just quick, because I do know that that might be one of the coins in our portfolios. And again, look at this, right? There's the downward sloping wedge. It pops out, it breaks down, it comes back, retests, and then boom. Here's what you need. You need sectors. You need coins inside sectors, right? I'm actually breaking it down with the next GAN report where I'm going to have little groups inside groups. Like, for example, give me 3 coins for like the next evolution of DeFi. Or give me the next three coins for the future of Ethereum that's not Ethereum. Become a member, right? Get involved, right? Streams, podcasts, reports. And the member area is awesome because it allows it for it to be dynamic, right? We can write it on the way up, do a bunch of videos. The thing turns around and goes down, do a bunch of videos, get everybody out. It is a dynamic research process. Patreon is the same thing, but it's with podcasts and sort of newsletters. So it's a different form of video. It's more raw because we can't say things on this. Please come check us out. You know what I'm saying? Like, come check us out because we got LuxAlgo, we got GAN, we got Wonderwoo, we got Eagle King, we got everybody. All right, folks, that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow.